Okay, I started making new molds for one in each corner, and I'm making two of them so that I can do 8 plug boots at a time. They're going to be like the last video with the little collar on them. And anyway, I thought, well, maybe I better show you how I'm making this mold. So I'm over here on the mill, and I've already started. And what I did was I squared up the blocks, the pieces. I'm making them out of, believe it or not, I'm making them out of a monitor. This is a material that I salvaged out of a couple monitors. I got a couple pieces like this, and they were salvaged out of a 27-inch monitor, I believe. And it's polycarbonate. It's what sits behind the screen. You can see the kind of like pattern in it. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and try that material. I squared up some pieces. I drilled and reamed holes. I pressed the dowel in on one side and there's a slip pit on the other side. I sanded a couple little notches on the side to pull them apart. Then I went ahead and put pieces in and put my holes in. And I don't know if anybody can make out the sketch, but this is what I came up with. This is like a section view, a cut of the diameters here. And you can see this first diameter, I got it at 365, 100 thou deep. The second diameter is a 5/16, 140 thou deep. And then the third diameter is a 1/4 inch diameter, 465 thou deep. And then the last diameter is 156, 5/32 diameter, 560 deep. And I went ahead and I've already done that on these. And now I'm just setting up to do the angled wire port. And what I'm doing is I'm dialing in. I kind of liked the way the other one was set up, so I'm just dialing in the old one here. I've got an angle block setting the angle sitting underneath, and that's butted up against the stop here, so it can't slide that way. The part's going to sit that way, so when I dial it in, they'll all fit the same way, because the distance, they're the same height, and the distance from the edge over to the hole is the same, so I should be able to go and put each one in there and do all of them with the same setting. And on that, there's just 2 diameters. It's just the one diameter for the wire, and then the one diameter to locate the little core that I put in there. So anyway, I'm dialing this in here. I'm going to finish this one that I started basically first. So I'll set you up on a tripod here, looking over my shoulder, and we'll do that. Okay, I got you set right on my vise here on a little tiny tripod. I loaded this in here and I dialed it into 0 all the way around. Now I should be able to just take and flip that part over. Take the indicator out. Should be able to take and flip it over and go ahead and put those bores in. I don't remember what the bores were. I will have to check the diameters here. I don't have a sketch drawn out. Should have been. Had that done. I think it's a 3/16 diameter. So I'll get myself a 3/16 tooth loop and mill. And it's not a 3/16. Must be all I bet it's 5/32 also, because I think I tried to keep it consistent. Looking for my 5/32 that I had here. Well, looks like I gotta stop here and find my end mill that I used. Okay, I got my end mills all rounded up here, so I should be able to take this part. It was in there like this when I dialed it in, so now I just flip it over here. And tighten that up a little bit. And we'll take and put the 3/16 end mill in there first. 187 diameter. And we'll take that down until it intersects the other holes. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm just going to put a clamp up on the top here to make sure it's tight together. I just want to make sure that they're pinched tight together. And I'm just going to try to plunge this end mill in there. It's an end cutting end mill, 2-flute. Most 2-flute end mills can cut on the end. It's the 4 flutes where you run into trouble where some of them won't cut on the end. Pretty happy with the way that rubber is working out. I wasn't at first, but seems to be working pretty good right now. That new batch that sent me there, I broke through, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stop so I don't crash into the other side on the next one. All right. Oh, I can't. I'm going to switch to 1/4 inch now. Oh. And well, first I'm going to take and put a 3/8 in there. I'm going to flatten out a spot on the top there. I just want to flatten out a land area there. So that when I push my core in there, it's got a land to set on. Most of the way around anyway. Okay. Now, I've got to put the diameter in there. I'm going to put a 250 diameter in there, and that's going to be the core outside diameter. Get the core here. Here's the core that's going to go in there. It's going to fit in this hole, and it's going to go, this is a 1/4 inch diameter, so it's just going to go down into there, and that'll be the wire. That'll be the vacancy for the wire there. So I only want to go about 50 to 100. I know that's not real accurate, but I'm gonna go 70 thou. Just to center the core and hold the core in there while the material's setting up. So there's one. That's the one that I've been using, And I kept saying that I was going to finish the second side, so second side should be finished now. Now this mold should be able to make 2 plugged wires at a time. So this is the one we just finished right here. I'm going to take a X-Acto knife, and I trimmed down on the sharp corners here, so it has the mold, or so that the part has less tendency to tear there. So it's got a radius there. So I'll do that before I actually use it. So now let's go to the plexiglass ones, or the polycarbonate. And what type of polycarbonate it is, I don't know. It's, like I say, it's salvaged material from a monitor. And I see I'm going to have a problem right away here. I have to pull this parallel back. Either that or lower it, because I don't have any short dowels. So I'll just put it in there like that. Oh, I'm putting it in wrong anyway. It's got to go this way. It's got to go this way. Oh yes, that's going to work out good. Parallel goes right over top of that dowel. So snug that up. Then I'm going to take that clamp again, and I'm going to put that up on the top here. Just want to make sure that they're held tight together, because I see this plexiglass gives a little bit. When I pour the plug wires, I'll probably put a little clamp on. I'll bar across and a little clamp, or I'll clamp it somehow. So we'll take the first thing we're going to do is do that 3/16 down to the intersect, or to the plug, main body of the plug boot. And I'm going to set this one up, and then I'm going to do all four corners on this mold, and plus I have a second mold here. I have a second one here. That way I can do 8 at a time. So we'll go ahead and do this one first. And the polycarbonate, you got to keep cooling on it, or otherwise it'll just melt like that. I've already bunged up the end here. It melts pretty quick. Now, I may have to go and drill a 1/4 inch hole, or go in there with a drill instead of an end mill. I'll go in with an undersized 1/4 inch end drill, I think. Oh, let me look at the end of this end mill. Fine, it should be cutting. Doesn't. Oh, you know what? I've done this once before. Come down and go, why isn't it cutting? And then I look up at my stop. That's probably why it's not cutting. So, silly me, I guess. I thought it would be kind of funny that it melted up that quick. Especially a 2-fluter. A 4-fluter I could see doing it, but I'll get this pipe set now and then not take this out again. Right there. Okay. Got it set. Pull the parallel back, pull this out, give it a little blast, and then line up the next one if I do it right here. Got that one. I might have to change the way I'm clamping this yet. because now the next one that I do, the dowels will have to stick out the other way. Okay. Now we'll do the next one before I change my setup here. Slide that in. Wrap it. I tested a little bit of that rubber on this polycarbonate to make sure that it wasn't going to weld it together on me, and I let it sit overnight, and it came apart fine. So, in case you're wondering, because if you want to weld polycarbonate or Lexan or any poly together, you put a little acetone on and put them together, it'll weld them right together, and you'll never get them apart. Or you'll have a hard time anyway getting them apart. This one I did a little different. I've got the dowel in a different position this time. So I'm going to have to change the way I'm doing things here. I think I'll put a little taller parallel down here. I've got another set that's just a tad taller. See if that'll work. And then take the one that was underneath, put that up here. Okay, now will that dowel fit underneath? Yep. Back in business. Alright. Well, you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here, so I'm thinking I'm going to stop the video here and then come back when I get back over to the lathe making the cores for the inside. So no sense me videoing this over and over and over. So okay, I got the cores made for the one of the molds, and I'm going to mix up some liquid rubber and fill it up and put the cores in place. So I figured and then here's the cores laying over here, and then there's 4 more back there. 2 of them for the spark plugs, and then 2 of them for the wire. And I'll show you how I mix it up. If I can get my tripod to stand up here. Okay, in the shot, yeah. So the first thing I do is I've got a little block that I just drilled a hole for a mixing pot. Nothing fancy. And what I do is I take a syringe. This is part B. I've got it labeled so I don't get them mixed up here. and I don't need the needle on it. So I take the needle off of it, and I found that for 2 plug boots it takes about what is this, 5 is it 5 millimeters? I'm not sure. Oh. Anyway, I sucks them up into the syringe, and then eject it all out except for about 5. I go to the 5 mark on here for 2 of them. I'm going to do 2 at a time here, and then I'll flip the mole over and do the other 2. And then I just put that into the little mixing pot here. Wipe my syringe off a little bit and put it back into my syringe holder here. Now I close this one up so I don't get confused here. Now here's the part A. Okay, we take the same thing, take the needle off. Don't need the needle. And stir down in there, sucks them up. Black is a little harder to see the numbers, but this is fairly easy to see. Just push it all out right up to the 5 and put that in. And that little pot that I've got made up here should be just a tad bit bigger because it's pretty close to just overflowing. Okay. And I just take and stir it for a few minutes. Get it all mixed up. Actually, we've been working pretty good. I did one more single, and now I've got a double that with my first mold that I got it that is in the process of setting up. That one's filled in. So once I do this 4 here, that'll be 8 plugs, or 8 of the style that I want. So I'll have 1 set done. I don't know how long you're actually supposed to mix this stuff, but I mix it a while just to make sure that everything gets all mixed in. It's consistency of, yeah, I'd say it's a little thinner than honey. Okay, so now we're ready to I'll move my mole over here close. And I have another syringe here that I use for the mixed stuff. And I just take and I suck that up, some of it. And I go ahead and I fill. It's going to run out the bottom. I let it run a little bit there. It's not running out, but it's getting close. And I grab the little core, stick that in the hole. This has worked pretty good on the other mole, and I just kind of, just to make sure there's no air bubbles down in there, and then I continue to fill it up. It doesn't have to be plumb full to the top because that core is going to take up space there too. Make sure I get the bubbles worked out, or most of them anyway. I noticed on one of them I had a few bubbles, but wasn't real bad. Okay, then I take the next core, put that in there, and these are fitting pretty tight. Shove them into place. Okay, that's one. Now we'll do the other side. You probably can't see a thing with my hand in the way. Just all I'm doing is just sucking it up in the trying to get it sucked up. And then it works best if I just tip that up just a little bit so it doesn't run out right away. Like I say, it's about the consistency of honey, so it doesn't really run out right away. It just kind of works its way up there. Hope I'm going to have enough here. I thought I had that figured out pretty good. Okay, let's stick this one in here. Okay, see if I can get a little more out of this batch. There's still some down in the bottom. And try to squeeze it into here. I'm thinking that'll be enough. I'm hoping. Okay. Kind of a gooey mess, something. If you okay, and shove that one in place. Okay, those two are done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clamp across that. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put a clamp across that with a couple pieces of scrap steel here, just to pinch it down good. I can see that it's bleeding out into the die a little bit, into the mold. Okay, so now I'm going to put this clamp back up here. Maybe not until after I mix another batch. So now I'll go through the whole process again. Get 5 milliliters, or it's 5, yeah, milliliter. And I think it's half a milliliter, and then mix it up, fill it up, and then I'll do the same thing, put the cores in, and then I'll let it sit for a couple hours, and should have 4 plug boots. So that's what's going on. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.